This is another restroom that I was checking out. A buddy of mine on YouTube was asking me about my bladder control and how it works. I'm an L1 injury, which is pretty darn low, but I can't feel, I can't feel my privates, my butt or my penis, but uh, um, those things, anything below my waist is numb or tingles, and I don't have control of my bowels or my bladder. As far as the bladder, um, he asked me. He said, he asked me if I have a routine. They're like every 3 or 4 hours I go catheterize. Uh, I used to do that, but I do, like him, I do feel a little bit of a sensation. It's more of, I feel a discomfort almost. And also a discomfort in my left hip, in my left, on my left. I don't know if you saw where your left kidney was. I kind of feel a little bit of discomfort in my left kidney area, where that would be, or in the lower part of my abdomen, I guess. Uh, I also, my heart starts to race a little bit whenever I need to go to the restroom. Um, he, I think he said 750 cc's, which is like, what is that, like around 20, 28, 25, 28, somewhere around there, ounces. Um, when it gets to that point, then I start to feel pretty uncomfortable. And he was asking me about leaking, if I ever leak. And I did leak a little bit whenever I used to play wheelchair basketball, because the constant moving forward and moving back and moving to the sides and stuff like that of the torso or the abdomen of your, and moving your stomach, going forward and going back, and going all these different directions with the ball, with the basketball, you end up putting a lot of pressure on your bladder, and so sometimes I would accidentally leak into my pants. My pants would be kind of wet sometimes. Uh, Sometimes I would also have to use clean out my bowels before I went to wheelchair basketball practice, because um, so I've had an accident or two whenever I was playing wheelchair basketball, and it's embarrassing, and it stinks. So, and you want to go home and stuff like that. So, uh, I used to, the the way to solve that problem was to go to the restroom as much as I could, uh, both bowel and bladder, before I go to wheelchair basketball practice. And I would do that sometimes also before I went out to eat with friends, or went on the night on the town with friends and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be I wouldn't be taken away by any quote unquote surprises. Um, but so I have pretty decent control of my bladder, and like I said, I used to have to go every 3 or 4 hours, but and I would kind of set my clock on every 3 or 4 hours as far as the bladder. But now uh, I can kind of feel a little bit, or I can't really feel somewhat, as more of just, I can I kind of can sense a little bit whenever I need to go. I think after a while, after a decade or two, then you start to figure out how your body, what feelings, how it's supposed to feel, how it feels whenever you need to go to the bathroom. Uh, certain things might bother you, certain things might not bother you. You might be more sensitive in one specific area of your body, uh, things like that. It's just uh, we all learn how our body works after we have an accident. We learn to uh, um, be more sensitive to what our body's uh, needs and wants are uh, as we if we get in a wheelchair, especially if we stay in a wheelchair for a long time, a couple decades or something like that. What I've been doing is I have been having a lot of troubles with the bowel in the past couple days, and so I get surprises, and it's not necessarily because I um, I don't know, but it's more of just uh, I it, it's something new that hasn't happened to me in a while. I usually don't have accidents in my pants and stuff like that. Um, I haven't had them. I haven't had accidents for a few years, so it doesn't happen very often. But when it does, then there's nothing you can do about it because the crappy thing is you got say you got diarrhea and you can't sometimes you can feel you feel bad and stuff like that, and you feel yucky in your tummy. But if you can't feel your tummy, if you can't feel below your injury level, and your injury level might be high, and so you might not be able to feel your tummy, then how are you you don't feel bad. I mean, the only way you might feel bad is sometimes people get sweats whenever they whenever they have diarrhea or whenever they're feeling yucky in their body or something like that. But I don't know. I don't feel. I felt great, I felt great, and then what do you know? I had a huge accident in my pants, and I couldn't really figure out, you know, what I did. I don't know what I ate. If I ate something certain, or if I ate a certain thing, or if I did a certain activity. I don't know what it was. I could say, well, it was, because I ate fast food, a burger, or it was maybe the bacon was uncooked, or maybe it was the chorizo, or you know, maybe it was too much margarine, butter, or something like that. I have no idea. I just never really was sure. Um, but you just after a while, after a couple of days, and you figure, well, that was okay. Then that was probably it then, or this specific food was it then, I guess. But you never really know.